colleagues, dearest friends. It's a great pleasure for me to be here with you. Thank you for gathering here at the Ukrainian House at the heart of Ukrainian America. In the 21st century, no nation has paid a higher price for freedom than Ukraine. Every day our enemy wounds us with blood and fire. It targets our peaceful cities and villages. It kills women, children, and the elderly. Kryvyi Rih, Sumy, Dnipro, Odessa, the most recent tragedies in a war that writes new such headlines every day. Right now there is a night in Kyiv, and right now there is missile and drone attack in Kyiv, and for me it's such unusual to hear the sound of flying airplanes in your peaceful blue sky, and this is priceless, absolutely. And we need innovations, we need some new technologies to protect our sky, to bring back this peaceful sounds in Ukrainian sky. And thank you that you are here, and we will have a perfect discussions today, tomorrow, about innovations, about new technologies, digitalization, robotics, artificial intelligence, about this, how to protect peaceful civilian infrastructure, peaceful life from such a brutal aggression as Russian barbarian aggressions in 21st century in all possible dimensions, in all possible ways which Russia brings this to the peaceful cities of Ukraine. Eternal memory to those murdered by Russian terror, eternal glory to the Ukrainian soldiers who gave their lives defending our future. Please join me in a moment of silence for all Ukrainians who have been killed by Russians. Thank you. We understand exactly what Russia's strategy is. This is not just a war without rules. It is a war of annihilation in which the aggressor takes satisfaction in the suffering of innocent. In Kryvyi Rih, the Russians struck a residential neighborhood and hit a children's playground. 19 people were killed, 9 of them were children. In Sumy, a missile hit the city center on Palm Sunday as families were on their way to church. 35 lives lost, 2 of them children. These are not some isolated crimes, they are deliberate act of terror, and we remember many others. We remember Mariupol's drama theater, more than 60 people killed, the train station in Kramatorsk, 59 dead, the village of Roza in Kharkiv region, more than 50 victims, Okhmadit Children's Hospital in Kiev, and far too more of such kind of terrorist attack and terrorist crimes. Since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, Russia has killed over 13,000 civilians. 618 of them were children. This is not the house of war or collateral damage. It is a doctrine of terror executed by design. Russia has launched over 170 attacks on schools, more than 780 on hospitals, and more than 30 large-scale strikes on and hundreds of smaller ones on Ukrainian energy infrastructure. To rebuild what's been destroyed, Ukraine will need 524 billion, according to the World Bank report, over the next 10 years. And our position on accountability remains unchanged. Russia must pay twice. First, financially, for the damage it has caused and as compensation to the families of those killed and wounded. That's why we demand the full confiscation of Russian state assets frozen in the West. And secondly, we seek direct accountability not only for those who pulled the trigger, but for those who wrote the orders, including Russia's top political and military leadership. Over 160,000 war crimes and crimes of aggression have been documented. Each one is under investigation. We are identifying identifying every name, every rank, every role, so that no one escapes responsibility. This is not just about Ukraine, it's also about the future of Europe and America. It's about a world where our children live in peace and humanity moves forward instead of falling back under the weight of dictatorship. Dear friends, since the end of the World War II, no nation has faced a challenge like the one Ukraine is facing today. Putin's calculation was simple, that the world break, that we would surrender, that we would fall to our knees, but to the surprise of our enemies, Ukraine has stood firm for more than 3 years, and we will continue to stand strong, together with you, together with all of our friends, with your support, and we really are grateful for this. How will we stand strong? Together with you, because of our people, brave, energetic, principled, inventive, resilient people with a mission, a free, united Ukraine. And together we pursue it. We stand thanks to our defense forces. Every day over 100 combat engagements happen along the front lines. Our soldiers hold the line and inflict massive losses. More than 900,000 enemy troops have been killed or wounded, over 10,000 tanks destroyed, more than 700 aircraft and helicopters downed. In big part it happens thanks to the support of the American people and the Ukrainian diaspora. And we appreciate this, and we are so much thankful for this to you, because you really support us, helps us to protect ourselves, to protect our lives. We stand thanks to our defense industry. Since 2022, our production capacity has grown 35 times. Today we produce 40% of the weapons used by our armed forces. Mostly this is innovative production, drones and some special technologies, which helps us not just to protect, but also fighting against Russians in deep of their front lines. We stand thanks to our friends and allies around the world, including Ukrainian diaspora and all of you here. So at every phase of this war, hybrid and full scale, you have been by our side. Ukraine feels that support, and we are deeply grateful. I must also highlight the leadership of President Volodymyr Zelensky, both at home and globally. From the very first hours of the invasion until today, he has led the effort to unite Ukraine and mobilize the world against a danger that goes far beyond Ukraine's border, threatening every nation built on freedom and rule of law. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, the fight of Ukraine's freedom continues, but so does the work of rebuilding. We act now because our people need real solutions, not just future plans. Ukraine's recovery will be one of the largest reconstruction projects of the century, comparable only to the Marshall Plan after the Second World War. Back then, a strong and free America helped rebuild Europe. Today, we need American leadership again, including the active voice of Ukrainians in America. Victory and recovery are our two guiding stars, and we are moving toward both of them with clarity, consistency, and resolve. The free world is with us. Every who values freedom, who believes in peace, just peace, who wants a better future for the world, stands with Ukraine. Together with our partners, European partners, American partners, partners from all around the world, we work hard to implement many innovative decisions. We discussed today principles of modern war, and war of economies is very important. And innovations helps us and let us to fight and to win in some battles, and I'm sure in war in general. So today's conference is crucially important, and I urge you, I call on you to have very good discussions, very good conversations, very good panels about innovations, about transfer of technologies, about artificial intelligence usage, about innovations in digitalization. So today and tomorrow, our government representative, Mikhailo Fedorov, I know will be in panel tomorrow. Many of you will hold your panels. I really hope that it will bring good results for our cooperation to the, I will repeat this, transfer of technologies. Ukraine will need this not only during the wartime, but especially when the war will finish. We will need this support to increase and to grow our economy for Ukrainian people and to win the peace, because win the war, it's not enough. We need to win the peace after this war. So once again, thank you so much for participation. Thank you so much for support. We are deeply grateful to the American people for unwavering support. Together we will do more. Together we will endure, prevail, and rebuild. God bless America. Slava Ukraini. Thank you.